All right, I just made this little tool, and the idea here is to clamp sheet metal roof panels together while I rivet. Pop rivets are kind of like a four-handed operation half the time. The panels don't want to stay right where they need to be, and things shift and move around, and you need to drill a little hole and then install and set the rivet, and my rivet gun is a two-handed tool, so I can't even hold things aligned while it goes. So this is just a little pinch clamp that can get right up into tight spaces and corners. So if I wanted to rivet these two pieces of steel together, you take the drill bit would press here and things flex and move, and you can't always get your hands near it. You don't want your hands directly behind it because then you drill your finger and that's no fun. So what happens a lot is these smear or shift or something, and then when your hole punches through, they're not where you wanted them to be, and then they go back to where they were and the holes don't line up. You can't get a rivet started. Just kind of a pain. So the hope is that this, if I can get this on here, the idea is if I want to put a rivet there, I can hold it, tighten that down, and that'll be my fingers. That'll hold those, and they can't shift, and they can't move, and they can't get squirrely on me. And then I can get my drill. There's a hole right where I want it. And I can take a rivet, weasel it in there. The other thing that's annoying is when you're trying to force the rivet in, you want it to be a nice tight fit like that, but it can spread the two pieces of metal apart, and then when you cinch the rivet, it doesn't clamp them up properly, and that's going to hold everything together. Hopefully that little clearance is big enough. Yep, the nose piece of the gun fits. And we can pop the rivet. And the clamp comes away. So yeah, I mean, clearly down here in a bench vise with good access to everything is not that big a deal, but when I'm hanging off the roof with only one hand and a climbing harness and everything, that's going to be handy. And that is a nice, tight joint. Let's go try it for real. All right, here's a great example. So I want to rivet these two. You see, this one just kind of wants to spring down and have this big ugly overhang, and it looks a lot better. They are really nice and tight. So hopefully this thing is gonna help me here. I think I need a little something to wedge that out. I can do it with my Leatherman, save myself a trip down. Yeah, that creates a little space behind. All right, that's much tighter and tidier. Well, that fight me quite a bit. Just the geometry of this profile makes it really difficult to get a drill and a rivet setter in there. If the clamp worked nicely, that would have been a proper nightmare without it. Throw a piece of scrap steel in there so that when my drill punches through, I don't go into the fascia.